I mean, Dad picked it up with ease.
Hey folks, welcome back to the farm. Today you caught me on a nervous moment because we're only a matter of minutes away from receiving probably the biggest delivery of materials to date. So as you know, over the past year we've been doing all sorts of fencing around the farm, and we've still got nearly 2 kilometers to go, and it needs to be done ideally this side of Christmas. So in order to do that we need more fencing materials, and we've changed again. We changed to a different timber. The practicalities are we don't have a forklift, a loader or a big enough tractor to unload this lorry. It's an 8-wheeler, that's all they told me, so I don't know length, size or anything like that. And Craig's on his way because Craig's got an Avant or an Avant, and it should be able to manage these sort of loads, but he can also tow it here. So that could be the answer we're looking for. Well, it will be the answer we're looking for because there's no other way other than handballing 1,000 posts. He's actually got a smaller knocker for the front of that. Still got a 200 kilo weight on it. So we might actually get some posts in. Right, we'll do a proper tidy up another day, but I can't see any nails there. Here he is, I can hear a banging trailer.
He wasn't sure that was going to happen, was he?
No.
The
He doubted you.
almighty Avan.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's got to be 50 kilos.
Yeah.
It feels...
Do some curls. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Is that twice a cement bag?
No, I think it's twice a regular strainer. Twice a regular post.
Yeah. I'd say that was...
I like
Probably
how your old
60
man,
kilo.
I mean, Dad picked it up with ease.
Yeah, I like that. Well, that'll be underground, I guess. But I think we'll pick like the ones that are going to be visible around the water's edge and stuff. We can actually pick ones that look quite.
Yeah.
But equally, the ones that go down the track, I might avoid using any really twisted.
Are you using, these are obviously what you're using for gate posts as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you just have to try and pick out the
So these are
semi-straight.
this order was based on the fact that we were going to have angled strainers rather than box strainers, but we're going to do box strainers, I think. So I'll use these ones are turners. For any change in direction, we'll use those, I think. So we'll end up coming up probably 10 turners short, so we'll either order some more of these or just use softwood ones up on the bank where it's dry.
So how much is here?
In money, like 7.5 grand.
Mental.
But they're cheaper than creosote.
And easier to get hold of, probably.
And I
They
priced
smell.
them up in Clippex.
And they smell nice.
Yeah, and you don't get blinded by oil. Yeah. They just sound so like,
Yeah, hardwood. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
yeah, but if you imagine all the creosote right close to the water,
Yeah.
just leaches in.
Yeah.
When we had a stack of it down there, for months you could see like
Yeah,
film
yeah,
every
yeah.
time it rained. Oh, God. Alright, we're going to head along the track with the timber and hopefully Craig can go out into the field and it won't be too wet for his machine. It was a good start to the day. We're going to try and modify this a little bit, this knocker. We just couldn't get the height to get these 8-foot posts in. So Craig's going to go loosen up some bolts and drop it down an extra foot, which will give a bit of extra travel. But it's going okay. So we're going to get these posts laid out while we're waiting. So we're going to use one of these. That's all right, keep going there.
Keep going.
Yeah. We don't really need too many turners. This is such a straight run anyway.
Yeah.
So if we put a gate here,
Yeah.
in line, it'll be okay. And we're going to have a turn. This track's going to go there so we can turn the truck around here anyway. I'm going to dig out some of that.
Sure.
So we need 1, 2, 3, 4 here, don't we?
4 big ones.
They're all pretty even.
Well,
Big.
yeah.
Gee whiz. Eh? Biggie. The main priority today was just simply getting the materials off. Right, all of this is one long straight run, so there's no real turns. So the first one we're going to do is where there's a bit of a dip, just to keep that down, because obviously the fence can potentially, it's got a bit of pulling up force if it's in a dip. Bit by bit we're finding a rhythm. So we're up to our 2 more box trainers. We're going to have a gate in line up here. What I didn't want to do is have a gate all the way down that far end, so to move anything from there and along the track we'd have to herd everything all the way to the end. So we're going to have a gate here which will cut back onto the track, which means a new strainer either side of the gate. Is it the joy sit, main joy sit? So we are pretty much done up here. So we've got a double lot strainer at the end, 2 strainers either side of the gate here, and then we've just gone through and put in 2 turners which are kind of 4 to 5 inch, just a little bit beefier. And then that means that we can now run a line all the way between them, which I'll probably just use a steel, high tensile steel wire along the bottom like we've done elsewhere. and then I can go along, pace out and get all the stakes in. Now the good news is I've been offered the loan of a petrol hand driver, so I should be able to fire in these 3 to 4 inch stakes pretty readily, because it's soft, as you can see, and they are super hard, these stakes. So I'm hoping that I can just get all those in, and then maybe if I can find a volunteer for another day, whether it's Craig or maybe the girls actually, we can roll out the netting and we can get all this strained up. I feel fairly confident with that, and I think I've got all the kit to do it. So there we go. Bring in the DIY to DIY farm today. That said, we've called in the favour of using Craig, but there's no way. I mean, you'd be here all day if you're using an auger or trying to drive in those big posts in some way yourself by hand. You've got to have the machinery ready to do that, especially if you're doing, I mean, we've got all these gates and strainers. There's just endless amounts of those big ones. I'm just very envious of anyone that's got a massive long straight run on a flat field, because you can strain 400 or 500 meters of this and just have a strainer each end, and that's it. We don't have that luxury. I did just come down with the truck and brought down maybe 30 or 40 stakes, but of course I didn't have a line to set them out on. But what I did do is just paste them out roughly. They're just dropped over there at 3 meter spacings, which is what we've done for the majority of the fencing around the farm so far. If we did in the future want to make a real feature of this track, we could actually rail between the posts. If we were doing that, these are probably just over 3 meters. We'd then have to put in a post in between each of these. Obviously that's a huge amount of posts, it's double the amount of posts, but this is too far apart to rail. But that's for another day. I don't think we'll actually ever do that. It's the last one of the day, and it's the biggest one of the day. Let's get this big gate post in, call it a day. There we go, that's day 1 of fencing part 4. We are going to get this track done, and we have to get it done in the next week or so. So I'm going to be all hands on deck getting all those stakes in, and hopefully we'll be then on to the next field, which is a whole different story because there's all sorts of banks and bumpy bits. But remember, there are loads more fencing videos on the channel, all sorts of stuff going on down the brook, over the other side, all the hill fields, all the horse net. We've done loads, but we're still going,